encounters the defending champion from last year's U.S. Nationals from Dallas, Texas, Kenny Bernstein. And the point standings have Bernstein just barely behind Joe Amato in the season-long series. Less than 100 points separate those two.
And you earn 200 points for every round-winning competition. Four-time Winston champ Joe Amato has had, well, a very difficult week, and he qualified only 13th in a 16-car field. This was early today in round number 1. Joe was up against Ed McCulloch. You see the tire smoke there? Joe Amato was out of Indianapolis early.
It started off a little weak, and it ended up first-round loser. You know, all we can pray now is somebody can take Bernstein out of the cars behind us, and we don't lose so much ground here.
Now, Doug Herbert could prove to be Amato's best friend here in round number 2, Steve.
You're right. If Herbert can beat Bernstein, he prevents Kenny from taking the points lead. Herbert is only 24 years old from North Carolina, currently 9th in the points. He beats Scott Coletta in round number 1 at 493. That is Herbert on the far side of the racetrack. Kenny Bernstein in the near lane. A lot riding here for Bernstein. But Bernstein has a problem, is falling back. Doug Herbert has beaten Kenny Bernstein on Kenny's 48th birthday. He blew out the candles on that cake prematurely, as far as Kenny is concerned. So Joe Amato's got to be liking Doug Herbert right now, Joel.
You better believe Joe Amato loves what just developed with Doug Herbert taking it. That is Don the Snake Prudhomme. Now, Don Garlitz, do you think the changing track conditions affected that last run?
I certainly do. I talked to Dale Armstrong, Kenny's crew chief, earlier. He said they were going to step the car up. They felt the track could hold it. It didn't. You saw the car shake. Kenny had to backpedal it. He lost.
We're ready for our next matchup in round number 2 of the top fuels in the near lane. The Snake, Don Prudhomme, getting ready for Ed McCulloch in the far lane.
The fact that McCulloch beat Amato shouldn't be a big surprise to us. He's won 5 times here at Indianapolis, all in funny car competition. Just this year he switched to top fuel. Prudhomme is a 6-time winner, 3 in top fuel and 3 in funny car.
Doug Herbert elated over the victory over Kenny Bernstein. Don't forget at the opposite end, though, Kenny Bernstein could not capitalize on that first-round loss by Joe Amato. With more, let's go down to Steve.
Well, obviously a terrible time to have the performance fall off. You could have regained your points lead.
Yeah, we sure could have. It's a shame, but that's part of the racing. Dale and Wes, the guys worked real hard. It just shook real hard out there, Steve. I got off the throttle and got after before it knocked the tire loose, but it just wasn't enough.
Thanks, Kenny. And Joel, the fact that the sun has come out and warmed things up didn't help any.
So we're ready now. Don the Snake Prudhomme on the near side. Ed McCulloch, who blew away Joe Amato on the far side.
And you notice that wing on McCulloch's car is not the right sponsor. Well, that's Kenny Bernstein's wing. They borrowed it this morning from Kenny when they discovered a crack in their own wing and felt it wasn't safe to run. Had no trouble doing that, being Amato was McCulloch's first competitor.
McCulloch could have borrowed his whole truck and trailer. Prudhomme loses traction. Ed McCulloch goes to the final 4 with a 490, 293 miles an hour to the delight of his crew chief, Lee Beard.
Another great run for Ed McCulloch. He's on his way to the semifinals. For Don Prudhomme, an early turnoff and an early trip home.